Our next guest is a 2001 Notre Dame graduate and one of the winningest pitchers in the history of Fighting Irish softball. While in South Bend, she was an All-American, an academic All-American, co-captain, and won 4 consecutive Big East Pitcher of the Year awards. She has been a part of the Jimmy Kimmel Live production team since 2003 and is now the co-executive producer of the show. Sharron Richardson, welcome to Notre Dame Day. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Now, Jen, you grew up in California. That's a long way from South Bend. What brought you to Notre Dame?
Well, I was recruited to play softball there, and I came from Southern California, and I thought I would try to give the Midwest a try. And the moment I stepped on campus, it was beautiful. The people were wonderful, the tradition is amazing, and the spirit is infectious. And I felt like if I didn't go and be a part of this, then I would be missing out on something amazing.
Well, being a graduate myself, I share those same sentiments. Now, you continue to serve the university in a number of capacities. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so I was a member of the Monogram Board of Directors, and I'm still very active and involved in the Notre Dame softball team. I try to participate in things when they come out to the Southern California, and when I'm back in South Bend, I try to be part of the program in any way possible. Yeah, the picture that you see there, they were out in LA earlier this spring, and I was able to host the team at the show, and they got to meet Jimmy and just experience the Hollywood lifestyle, which is neat because I'm sure most of them don't get to ever have that personal experience, especially in South Bend.
Very cool. Now, as we mentioned, you're now the co-executive producer of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Tell us, what is that guy like?
He's amazing. I can't ask for a better host and boss and friend. Jimmy is an absolute class act. He is a wonderful person, very selfless. Family is a very important part of his value system, which is why I think I enjoy working so much on his show. And I met him 15 years ago working at Fox Sports, and he invited me to join his show 14 years ago, and now I've climbed the ranks and with the show seen a lot of success, which is pretty amazing, and have now grown to be co-executive producer. But I can't thank the opportunities that I've had. I can't thank Jimmy enough for that because he's a wonderful person.
That's very cool. Now, your show has a history of viral pranks and YouTube segments and things like that. Do you have a personal favorite stunt that you guys have pulled?
You know, it's funny. There's that ongoing battle with Matt Damon and all the bits that are surrounded around him, and he's a wonderful person to work with. We also have done things like the Handsome Men's Club, which was a fun Oscar bit we did a few years ago, and Mean Tweets, which our writers are amazing. They come up with some brilliant things. And I think, everyone, I think, enjoys the YouTube challenge. The funny thing there is, having the general public participate in some great content for our show. And that's all spontaneous, and sometimes it's not great to make kids cry, but I think we enjoy it. America clearly enjoys it. And I have 2 little ones, and one's 3 and one is 1. And my husband said we have to wait a few years before completely traumatizing them with Halloween candy.
That's very neat. Jen, we got about a minute. Now, people think that show just kind of happens. Just talk a little bit behind the scenes, all the amount of work that goes into making a show like that possible.
Absolutely. It's a daily show, so we have to stay topical, and just like the news, you don't know what's going to happen that day. There's a lot of people behind the scenes working. There's a team of executive producers, writers, all the way from the production assistants to the top with Jimmy. Everybody's working constantly at full capacity to be able to put together an amazing show every night. And I think the leadership is very strong on our show, and we have a lot of people that have been there since the beginning, which I think makes it a really well-oiled machine. So it's a fun show to be a part of, and like I said, it all is reflective of Jimmy and what an amazing host and person he is.
Jen, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on Notre Dame Day.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me be part of it.